Hi guys, it's Steffi from the Novelty Corner and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to talk about 5 Lovers Way books that I didn't expect to love, but I really did. And you know, I love being surprised by books because you get told to read a lot of books or you get recommended a lot of books because they're fabulous, but there's always this nagging sensation in the back of your head that, you know, what if I don't like it? What if I don't like something that a friend has recommended to me? Or what if the hype is well overblown? And I've been in plenty of situations like that this year. However, these books certainly surprised me, and so I wanted to share them with you. The first book I want to talk about is Frankie by Siobhan Plaza. This book I was not 100% sure I was going to like because I don't typically gravitate towards contemporaries. I have read a lot of them this year and I've been pleasantly surprised by plenty of them, but it's not something that I typically pick up and reach for on my own unless I really need a break from sci-fi or fantasy or whatever else it is that I'm reading. And this one I read because it is Lovers Way A. It was very well reviewed on Goodreads and on BookTube and recommended by friends that I know and trust. So I did pick it up, and it is the story of Frankie, who is a tough as nails, very temper prone young woman, and she lives with her aunt, and then one day a boy turns up claiming to be her half brother. She's not so sure about that, and when he goes missing, suddenly she finds herself caught up in the mystery of his disappearance, and she tries to track down where he is, and that sort of sends her down a path that she didn't quite expect. And Frankie is not an easy character to like. She is very rough around the edges, but that doesn't mean she's not likable at times and that you can't relate to her. She's had a tough life and she is just trying to do what she can do to survive. So I really enjoyed this. It is definitely well worth a read if you haven't picked it up yet. The Bone Sparrow by Zana Frelin was one of those books that I was really nervous about picking up because it deals with quite a heavy topic of children in detention centres, which is something that is really confronting and something that is really upsetting to me personally and to a lot of people in Australia. But Zana Frelin has done this wonderful job of weaving together this narrative of a young boy who is living with his mother and sister in a detention camp, and he experiences things differently to those people who remember what life was like before they entered the detention centre. Sylvie has a wonderful imagination, and one day he meets a young girl named Jimmy who has sort of crept along the fence line, and the two begin a very unlikely friendship filled with stories. And it's really a story about friendship and what does freedom actually mean. And it was just a really powerful read, and I highly recommend it if you haven't already picked it up. This has won numerous awards, and for good reason. This is Shyness by Leanne Hall. Was a book that I picked up because it was a book club read for one of the book clubs that I follow along with, and I had no idea what it was about. And it totally surprised me because it's just so different to anything that I've read. It is sort of a dystopian, magical realism type book, and it is set over the course of one night, and it's really hard to describe it, but it was just so captivating and atmospheric, and I really enjoyed this one. I actually think this is a book that it is well worth going into completely blind and just experiencing it for the first time. Yellow by Megan Jacobson is just incredible. Prior to buying this, I had been totally captivated by the cover image for the longest time when I saw it in bookstores, but I didn't pick it up because quite often that's a really scary way. I am a cover buyer and I will buy books because of their covers, but more often than not, they let me down. But I heard really great recommendations about this one, so I did actually pick it up, and when I read it, it was just so heart-wrenching. 14-year-old Kira is having a midlife crisis. She has an alcoholic mother, she's being bullied at school, and really life is not what she would like it to be. And then one day she answers a payphone call and finds herself talking to the ghost of a boy who died many years before. This is a really memorable magical realism story, and I would highly recommend you pick it up if you haven't done so already. Can I say that for all those books? I don't know. Possibly. The last one I want to recommend is Frog Kisser by Garth Nix. This is sort of a young adult book, so it's very easy to read. Younger readers could definitely pick it up. It is a modern day take on fairy tales set in a very fairy tale land, as Princess Anya tries to track down a wizard about a frog, but the frog's not hers, it's her sister's, and along the way she is constantly finding new people to help and solve and things that she needs to exchange in order to help all of these people that she comes across. And it is just one of those wonderful fairy tale stories that is not pretending to be anything other than it is, which is a wonderful adventure set in a magical place with truly enchanting characters. And I absolutely adored this one. And the cover is beautiful and it has yellow sprayed edges, so it's just a gorgeous book all around. So these are some of the books that I didn't expect to enjoy, but highly enjoyed once I did actually read them. In the comments, let me know some of your favorite books that you were really cautious about going into before you read them and then discovered that you actually really enjoyed them. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're having a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.